The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Good evening from Grand Bahama. This island was once hailed as the industrial heartbeat of the Bahamas. Now, the Grand Bahama economy stands at a crossroads with business owners, investors, those in the tourism industry, regular citizens asking what's next. When will things change for the better in the Grand Bahama economy, affording each resident, business owner, local an opportunity to participate in this economy, to benefit from this economy, to live the quality of life they'd like to live. Good evening, I'm Shanique Miller. Welcome to night 2 of our time here in Grand Bahama. Last evening, if you joined us, you saw that we spoke with a number of straw vendors from the Port Lucaya marketplace, business owners and investors, all of which singing the same tune. More needs to be done. When will it be done? When will the number of projects that have been in the pipeline for quite some time, earmarked for this island, when will any of them come out of that pipeline and begin turning the wheels of this economy here on this island? Well, we're going to continue that discussion this evening. We're also going to speak later in tonight's show with the president of the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce and a number of other persons. And so welcome to the show. Tonight we start with the transportation industry. Of course, tour operators, taxi drivers too are complaining about the lack of opportunity. The fact that business has come to nearly a standstill on the occasion that they're lucky to get a job or have a taxi fare or a tour job, then they see that as a privilege and a great day. But oftentimes it's just the opposite. We're going to start this evening with H. Rudy Sawyer. Mr. Sawyer, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Sawyer. Good evening to you. Of course, you hear some applause in the background. Are we expecting others here? Some are here. Some of the residents, business owners, straw vendors are here. But we're expecting a few other people or a handful of other people. We, of course, when they come and they want to speak, you will certainly hear from them as well. Mr. Sawyer, good evening to you. It's good to have you here. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines.
And it's my pleasure to be here. And welcome to Grand Bahama.
Thank you. I'm enjoying it. I've been, my team and I, we've been going around the Tino Bridge, just so many areas we went to today to just see for ourselves what's going on. And quite frankly, we see what you all are saying. You mentioned, but not you, other taxi drivers who are late getting here, and tour operators are really having issues with being able to keep their vehicles on the road in terms of getting fares. Let's talk about what's happening and how that is looking in terms of low tourism numbers and how that's impacting the transportation industry.
Well, it's a dilemma at this particular moment because the tourism numbers are not low. Since the Celebration Key came in here, Grand Bahama, for the first time in its history, is at a position where there's at least a cruise ship in every day.
Every day.
And most days, it's 2 cruise ships. That has never happened on this island.
So this is new for Grand Bahama's tourism product because Grand Bahama's never been known really for its tourism product. So the fact is, it's good. Things have turned in that way, in that there are now tens of thousands of tourists every day, you're saying?
Every day on this island. The problem is, if you were lucky enough, fortunate enough to be one of the vendors or the service providers chosen by Carnival and Celebration Key to operate at their site in East of Freeport, you are doing well. Everybody else, and it seems as if as of the 19th of July, when they opened the operation at Celebration Key, everybody else who were looking forward to this great thing happening have actually lost business compared to what they had before.
How did the selection process happen? I mean, you don't service Celebration Key.
No, and in fact, I'm a tour operator rather than a transportation provider.
Yes.
We are a group, I'm president of a group of the National Eco Tour Operators Cooperative. We are owners of the actual tour rather than transportation
Well,
providers.
that sounds awesome, because I'll tell you, tourists anywhere in the world love to experience what is authentic about a destination. And you were talking about the eco tours. Grand Bahama is synonymous for its wonderful nature trails and the rest of it. How is that not selling? How is it that you and your group did not sit with Carnival and say, listen, we have this wonderful, unique experience to offer? How can we sort of be a part of what it is you offer the tens of thousands of people every day?
Carnival did a marvelous job to the public in requests for proposals. My grouping, individually, and people beyond us have submitted proposals. And I suspect, I heard the number might have been about 90. You go onto their website and you see the tours that were chosen. There were about 15 or 16 out of the 90. So, that's in their prerogative to decide who they are going to sell. So again, unfortunately, even among those that they chose, particularly the transportation providers, are not getting even the minimum numbers that they had agreed with Carnival to provide for them when they come in every day. So even someone is not selling it.
So you're saying even those people who are engaged with Carnival are not experiencing this boom?
That's right.
Roughly how many people a day come in on those ships?
But regular ship will be 4,000, 3,000, and in most days they have two of them. So you're looking at about 6,000 to 8,000 people. The expectation from industry statistics is we expected at least 20% of cruise visitors, when they reach the site, will buy the shore excursions, which is what we're talking.
Now,
right now, it's below 5%, maybe even below 1%.
So then the entire industry, whether it be tour operator like yourself, whether it be taxi driver, whether it be transportation provider, the entire industry or sector is having a tough time.
Exactly.
What do you make, sir? What does this look like on a given day, a given week now for you?
Looks like nothing. There's no business. That's what it looks like. So
tell us how that looks like in dollars and cents. By the way, what you're looking at on the screen right now is the Port Lucaya area. This is it. We did this yesterday, and it's like a desert land. There it is, and it's such a lovely place. Yes. This is like commonplace, yes?
Well, to give you an example of stories we've heard.
There's the Grand Lucaya there in the background.
Folks who may have actually bought transportation to come into Freeport. Complaints is that it's so expensive to even pay for the transportation to get to Port Lucaya, so much so that when the guests get there, their limit on spending to the craft vendors, the store is being reduced. So the craft vendors are not making it because it's...
So then it sounds like this is an issue, a local issue. Are taxi drivers being too greedy, dishonest, to charge people more than they should, to the point that this money can't go around?
Well, again, I don't know if it's greed as much as they're trying to make, what they figure was business sense. But obviously it's not making good business sense for everybody else. So I'm sure that's an adjustable situation that could occur. And as we go forward, that's only one issue. There are other issues. How come that 20% of people that normally buy shore excursions from Carnival ships, obviously whoever was selling it before or at other ports, are not selling it here, it would seem.
Well, we will talk about that because you're talking about when the Carnival ships came to the regular port.
That's right.
Before they developed the Celebration Key.
Right.
Now, who was responsible for selling those tours there that it trickled through the Grand Bahama transportation sector?
Carnival chooses the tours they will sell on board their vessels. So they have obviously the responsibility to sell the tours. At least everybody who contracts with them, that is the expectation, that their tours will be sold, that they will at least get the minimum that they agreed to with Carnival, that Carnival would produce on every ship they come in here. And that's not happening.
That's not happening. Now, let's look at you on a given day, a given week. What is it, would you say, roundabout figure, that you take home?
My figure may, from time to time, vary, and I have a different sort of a tour than say a transportation provider as well. So again, my tour, regular tour, sell for $136. I expect to carry about 6 to 8 people will be a good tour for me. Whereas a transportation provider who's doing sightseeing may need to have 80 people in a bus or 30 people in a bus. My tour will really be the smaller, unique features as well. So, like I said.
How many of those have you had in recent time? A 6, an 8 tour job?
I haven't had one since July.
Are you saying, come on now, are you saying you have
Fully
not
like
had,
that.
you have not had one tour of 8 people?
Certainly not from them, right, not at all. But again, it's not just Carnival. Somehow, because like I told you, I'm the president of the National Eco Tour Operators with members throughout the islands. We have our monthly meeting. We get reports like from Bimini. In July, they reported that they will be having less business because the movement of Carnival ships being diverted from Bimini to Celebration Key. And so they anticipated they are doing less, but they have other alternatives in
Yeah, because Bimini is booming.
Nassau,
Yes.
remember, at our meeting last month, indicated it's been the worst September. And of course, September in our industry is
Traditionally
like it
the
drops
slow
off the
month,
wall.
yes.
But it's nothing like that as well. So, I say to people, follow the money. Carnival has invested $600 million into this, the most money they've invested into any operation. They will do everything to make sure that their ships go there. So they are doing a great job. They're getting their people to their site to now get their return on their investments, and they're doing everything to do that. But we are not benefiting from it.
Well, now, Carnival isn't going to come and knock on your door and say, hey, listen, I have this for you. What are you doing to reform and to sort of present these eco tours differently so that they are more appealing? And by the way, give us an idea of what the eco tour is and involves.
Again, there's a variety of tours here on this island. Grand Bahama, 97 miles east to west. We have East Grand Bahama, West Grand Bahama. East rich in its eco tours. I was out birding all day today in the east of Grand Bahama. My tour, Blue Green Outdoors, is the name of my company. I offer kayaking and snorkeling in the blue holes at Crabbing Bay as my number 1 tour. I also do tours that will take people to the west where they could swim and snorkel with the turtles and other marine life.
So quite unique and really taking advantage of the natural resources and just the natural life here.
Exactly.
So Carnival doesn't offer that. How is it that this idea could not have been packaged so beautifully and presented to them?
Well, it has been. They haven't actually, this may not be the type of tour that will be attracted to them. They have a demographic that sort of decide most of their guests may be guests that could afford tours for $80, $60, or $70. My tour, they will have to sell this for almost $200. That is not going to be something that going to match them. So I understand that. They are not my major market.
Who is your major market?
The vacation home rentals.
Yeah.
The
Airbnb.
Airbnb, vacation rental.
Okay.
Airbnb obviously is the brand name, but certainly vacation rentals, all of them will be our number one. Hotel, the stopover visitors are certainly the ones who we will target as our number one. But, on every cruise ship, there's going to be at least 5% of the people who will be
interested
in
an experience like you offer.
Go swim with the stingrays out in the West End with Keith, or these different natural aspects that this island offers. On this island, you can swim with stingrays, you can swim with sharks, you can swim with pigs, you can swim with turtles. You
can go kayaking.
Dolphins.
It's a beautiful experience that Grand Bahama has to offer.
Right.
All rich and very unique and authentic to this island.
But for some reason, we haven't been able to get it to the point where it's a product that is attractive enough to the worldwide market for people to come here in numbers as they do to Harbor Island or Abaco or to Exuma. We haven't actually pulled it together yet.
What do Grand Bahamians like yourself need to do? Because I'll tell you, after we come back after the break, I'll tell you a conversation I had with Rupert Roberts, co-chairman of Grand Bahama Port Authority this morning. He spoke with me after last night's show. He reached out, and they're very interested in speaking to us again. And of course, when that happens, of course, you'll be the first to know, and as well as the people of Grand Bahama. But he has some amazing ideas, and other things are going to come on stream. And so what is it that you plan to do as we wrap up this segment? What difference do you plan to sort of offer to be able to get out there and have people understand that you exist?
Well, what this has done with Celebration Key and the lack of business and everything else has cost us all who've been suffering to come together. We've been having meetings. We've been strategizing. There are decisions made. There is going to be some things we are going to do. Some of us are doing on the technology side of it, the marketing, getting to guests before they get here.
Yes.
And even though the cruise ship for me personally may not be my major target market, I am looking forward to every guest that could possibly be. It might be 8, might be only 6. I don't need 80, but on every ship, if I could get 4, 5, or 10, it will be a wonderful thing to actually help with business. But it's not just Celebration Key. We're looking forward to other things happening here. Other businesses has to happen.
Well, you're right, because Celebration Key cannot, and I said this last night, cannot lift the entire island's economy and put it where it needs to be. And I'll share some news with you when I come back after this break. So don't go anywhere. This is Beyond the Headlines, night 2 here in Freeport, Grand Bahama. We're going to take a break and come back with more after this.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Call now to get more of the care you need.
This National Heroes Day, elevate your home with timeless beauty from Grand Bahama Tiles. For 2 days only, Friday, October 10th and Saturday, October 11th, enjoy 20% off store-wide. Discover elegant porcelain, timeless ceramic, and durable natural stone, perfect for every area of your home. Celebrate savings that last a lifetime, only at Grand Bahama Tiles.
Welcome to Blissful Escapes, where luxury meets affordability. Whether you're seeking relief from aches and pains or simply looking to indulge in some well-deserved pampering, relax and detox in our infrared sauna. Enjoy a soothing Swedish massage or an invigorating exfoliating body scrub. We also provide advanced facial treatments using cutting-edge technology, including hydrofacial, microneedling, and microcurrent therapies, located at the shops of Cable Beach Plaza.
Squad and Zone 4 present Keisha Cole performing live Saturday, October 11th at Nassau's Cruise Port. Keisha Cole performing live at the Nassau Cruise Port. $75 general admission, and log on DonJulioEvents.com for more information about VIP, table service, and skybox. Keisha Cole, October 11th, Nassau Cruise Port. Security strictly enforced. Keisha Cole performing live at Nassau Cruise Port.
Ever feel like you're missing your own life because you're constantly running off to the bathroom? Do bladder leaks or pelvic discomfort have you up at night and affect your confidence in everyday life? Those days are over. At Frequency Vitality Center, we offer a solution. Completely painless, fully clothed with no downtime. Perfect for men and women of any age, we help strengthen the pelvic floor muscles while you sit comfortably, improving bladder control, decreasing night waking, and much more. Strengthen your foundation and restore your confidence.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
This National Heroes Day, Grand Bahama Tiles is celebrating our nation's builders, our contractors. For one day only, enjoy 20% off store-wide at our Contractors Only sale. Select, save, and build with tiles, tools, and materials. Everything you need to get the job done now at unbeatable savings. Don't miss it this Thursday, October 9th, one day only. Grand Bahama Tiles, building with you, building for you.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back to our live broadcast here in Freeport, Grand Bahama. I'm Shanique Miller, live at the Pelican Bay Resort here in the Lucaya area. Quite a nice resort, quite frankly, doing a great job with helping keep this economy moving. It really is a wonderful property to visit, really beautiful, surrounded by, I think it's the canals, yes. Canals, yeah, really, really awesome. Quite stunning to look at. A lot of greenery, really super. Grand Bahama has a lot to offer. And the residents, the business owners, the local investors know that. And they want an opportunity to be able to showcase that to the world while, of course, earning a living, while experiencing the rebounding of this economy once again. And so this week, we are here in Grand Bahama to talk about that, to hear their voices, to hear what it is they have to say. They have been calling on Beyond the Headlines to come and speak with them, to come here, not just sit in Nassau and talk about it, but to actually come here and just hear them, look in their eyes, hear their voices, face to face of what it is that's happening in this economy, or rather not happening in many instances, that must be happening to change things around. I mentioned just before the break that I spoke with Rupert Haywood, who is the co-chair of the Grand Bahama Port Authority this morning. We had quite a lengthy conversation. I'll tell you this, Mr. Haywood of the Grand Bahama Port Authority wants the very same thing every Grand Bahamian wants. In fact, he too is excited to see the economy turn around and Grand Bahama families benefit and business owners benefit and businesses begin to thrive once again. These are some of the things he said to me today. He also talked about the fact that the power, though, has been significantly stripped from the Grand Bahama Port Authority, in that a number of the decision-making has been taken out of their hands and, I guess, put into Nassau, if you understand that. And so he kind of sort of wants that to be returned to a great extent. But he is excited about what's about to come on stream. You heard this entire show last night and already this evening. We talk about Celebration Key. Well, Celebration Key is a $600 million investment. There is also the Xanadu Hotel, according to Mr. Hayward, which was also purchased. That's another $500 million investment. And then come January, the Grand Bahama Shipyard, another $500 million will come online and will come on stream fully. He's excited about that because he says those very things and more, but those things will begin to really get this economy moving in the right direction, that people can begin to experience their livelihood again and business again, and even new businesses come on stream. And so Mr. Hayward, of course, wants to speak to these things in depth, and he will. Of course, the Grand Bahama Port Authority wants its opportunity to speak to the people of Grand Bahama and the nation, and will do so very shortly on the show. But I want to just pick up that discussion right there with my guests in this segment. Of course, continuing to be here is Mr. Rudy Sawyer. He, of course, is president of the Eco Tours operators here in the nation, actually, and that's Grand Bahama and here in the nation. And then, of course, joining him is the president of the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce, Dylan Knowles. Good evening to you, Dylan. Welcome. Welcome. Now, gentlemen, you both are going to have to kind of share the mic. Thank you. You understand, Rudy, exactly what it is. What do you make of my conversation with Mr. Hayward earlier today? Yes,
at least he's not a politician, so I could feel a little bit more confident in listening to, hearing his words.
Yes.
And a businessman. And he's been doing a tremendous job, even in my area of interest, the blue economy, with coral vita and the coral restoration, those sort of things. But he's a business person, a strong one as well. So certainly in terms of where he sits, and Celebration Key is one of the first ones to come on and be completed as one of those pipeline investments.
Yes.
They picked the right name for it,
yeah.
One that I'm willing to adopt, to call the island of Grand Bahama Celebration Island, with Celebration Key only being an activity on the island.
Yes.
I'm looking for the opportunity to be able to celebrate those different things that are going to be coming out of the pipeline.
Listen, I talked about that pipeline last night. I'm happy that you emphasized that, because this pipeline, you all, has in excess of $3 billion worth of investments. What I talked about is already over $1 billion.
That's right.
That is already beginning to kind of just slowly turn around in this economy. Again, come January, Mr. Hayward said, listen, Shanique, here's what's happening at the shipyard. And so that is going to be quite substantial.
And the industrial sector, because,
it's going to be thriving
Grand Bahama,
once again.
Freeport is the industrial capital of the Bahamas.
It is.
It has been the economic sector that has been keeping this island afloat,
yes.
Even with what's been happening on the downturn on tourism. And it hasn't just happened because of Celebration Key coming in or whatever. It's been on the downslope for a long time on the tourism side, but the island has been floating. It's still been looking good, and people have been working smaller numbers than the tourism industry is, would employ, but it's high value.
Yeah.
And it's been having a major effect on this island of Grand Bahama.
Well, it's
with
good
the success of the industrial
It's good
sector.
to hear that, and it's good to see your attitude and your approach to it. The optimism certainly is something that you can feel from you, and that is what needs to happen, Mr. Knowles, in terms of the optimism. To hear Rupert Hayward talk about, listen, Shanique, he realizes what needs to be done, and he's not trying to pass the buck in terms of the Grand Bahama Port Authority. He just wants certain things to come in line, but very hopeful though, and quite excited about what it is he told him. Shared with me that I shared with you all a moment ago.
So, Shanique, I don't know if your audience is well versed in the history of Grand Bahama and Port Authority and Freeport in particular, but Freeport was built to be an industrial hub. And the private company called Grand Bahama Port Authority undertake the the project to develop a city around a deep water harbor at no expense to the taxpayers of the Commonwealth, well, at the time, the islands of the Bahamas, because we weren't independent at the time. And they engaged in that activity. It wasn't panning out as quickly as they thought, so they went back to the government and asked for more land to engage in residential and touristic resort development. And Freeport, Lucaya was then the first licensed casino in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And that was really the focal point for tourism on Grand Bahama. Everything on Grand Bahama. The magic in the Magic City was gaming, because Grand Bahama had the only licensed casino on the eastern seaboard of the United States
You're
of America.
kidding. So you
Yeah.
all were, and mind you, as a kid, I remember you all being in the Bahamas first in many things. Grand Bahama, and we mean, when we say Grand Bahama, the rest of the nation say mean Freeport as well as Grand Bahama all in one.
Yes.
But you all led in so many things, so many firsts, and you were saying that a casino, having a casino here, was also a first. Grand Bahama led the way in that.
Absolutely. So when the U.S. embargoed Cuba and the casinos had to leave, they came to Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama, the first licensed casino. There was a casino club, private club in New Providence, but the first licensed casino was in Grand Bahama. And so the entire Grand Bahama tourism product revolved around gaming. Think about it. We actually built a major resort in the middle of the island, not on the beach, but in the middle of the island, because it was focused on gambling and providing daytime activities for gamblers, which is particularly golf, and nighttime activities for gamblers, where we had all of the Las Vegas-style reviews here on Grand Bahama. All of the major entertainers around the world came to Grand Bahama at one point or another during the history of Grand Bahama. We talk about the tourism product being impacted by the hurricanes that started in 2004, but really they were the final nail in the coffin of a product which was focused on being the only casinos on the eastern seaboard.
So it was an aging product already.
It was, not only was it an aging product, but when Florida decided to license their own casino, we then had that market stolen from under our feet.
And this is
fundamentally, we have not gone about the process of pivoting to a new niche market for tourism.
And this is what I want to ask you, because when Grand Bahama rebounds, as it will, does it have to come up with a new model, even in terms of Celebration Key and what Royal Caribbean will do and all the other entities that are in that pipeline? Does it have to still look different, though? Will it not? It may not look like what Nassau has to offer in terms of tourism, or Eleuthera, or any of the other islands that are thriving. How can Grand Bahama develop its own niche in tourism? Because obviously it is still very much heavily industrial. That is working and very successful for it. It may never be the absolute thriving tourism industry that you see elsewhere. While it may be quite healthy and robust, it just may not be the number one industry on the island.
So we've gone through a couple of cycles with our tourism product. In the mid-2000s, we went through the exercise of rebranding Freeport to become Grand Bahama, the Grand Life. And we're well on our way to identify products that matched that branding. And then we had a change in administration, and then we became Club Grand Bahama, the bargain basement tourist, all-inclusive tourist destination that catered to a whole different demographics than the Grand Life would. And then we had another change in administration, and we're back to the Grand Life again. So now we've confused the market totally about who we are and what we're about.
So we need to stop changing our identity then.
Absolutely.
Stick with one thing.
We need to know who
and
we need to know
be
who
firm
we
in
are.
that and sell that.
We need to know who we are, and what we are, and what we have to offer. And you've spent some time on island now, and you would know that Grand Bahama is unique in that we have 3 islands on one. Okay, so in the east, we have wonderful eco environment, which is perfect for niche ecotourism. In the middle, we have the city, which has the capability of dealing with large volume traffic and large volume convention style and maritime style activities. And then West Grand Bahama has West End, which was involved in every aspect of the development of the United States of America over the history of the U.S. West End has been involved in everything from prohibition to gun running during the Confederate War. You name it, West End has been involved in it. And so it has a heritage that is important to the U.S. that people in the U.S. don't know. In fact, people in the Bahamas don't know. And we haven't told that story. So we seriously have a problem with packaging and marketing of what Grand Bahama has to offer, and we have to fix that pronto.
How do you fix that? I mean, Mr. Knowles, last night, if you heard those vendors and then other investors who too are experiencing exactly what Mr. Sawyer here is experiencing, as they all have tourism-related businesses, how do you fix that reputation? How do you fix that moving forward? Because there is a place for tourism in Grand Bahama, no doubt. But the people have got to readjust. It seems everyone is waiting for, you call it the magic days. Some say, listen, start there. Remove the word magic and rebrand it as you said. But how do you fix the mindset of people to know that when things rebound, that it will not be the same as what they are used to and what they are hoping for, but they're going to have to also somehow rise to meet what the new product looks like?
So that's a huge challenge which we, and particularly the Chamber, is working on, is how we get people to change their paradigm. We have to understand that we need to be at the forefront of this, not waiting for a savior to come and do it for us. And we also need to appreciate that there are no silver bullets in life. Grand Bahama is not known for anything at this point. If you say the word Las Vegas, everybody knows what that means. If you say Orlando, everybody knows what that is. But if you say Grand Bahama around the world, nobody knows what that is. So we have a need to first and foremost identify who we are and what we want to be. What is it that we have unique to offer to the global marketplace?
Can that be more than one thing?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Grand Bahama, Freeport has had a unique balance of industry in the Freeport half of the city and tourism in the Lucaya half of the city for 50 years now, 60 years. Mm-hmm. And that those have worked very well together. The industrial sector has been kind of the baseline of the economy. It keeps the boat floating. And then the tourism market has been the sprinkling on top that brings in the glamour. Mm-hmm. But they are very homogeneous in the sense that they work symbiotically to produce the economy that we've had in Grand Bahama. We just now need to pivot on the tourism side and fix that product.
Right. How do you identify? Yeah, because you're right. This island is rich with experiences and can be this tourism hub as well as the industrial hub and the tech hub and all the rest of it that Grand Bahama has ready at its fingertips, right? How do you, though, identify your tourism product, you think?
So one of the things that the Chamber has been doing, and it'll continue to do, is we're preparing a vision document for Grand Bahama, not for Freeport, not for a particular business sector, but for Grand Bahama as a whole. We had a focus group meeting about 2 weeks ago where we had 55 business owners in the room discussing a SWOT analysis on Grand Bahama. What are our strengths? What are our weaknesses? What are the opportunities? What are the threats? And out of this process, we will continue to refine that until we've identified what our niche in the world is. And then we need to convince all of the players both at the regulator side, as the people say, the powers to be, as well as at the grassroots side, to come together to make this happen. And we need to make it happen. We can't wait for somebody to come in and do it for us.
And you have to be ready for when the opportunity presents itself, for sure.
On that point, Shanique, this same stimulus that has happened as a result of Celebration Key has been a good thing along the line that Dylan is talking, because it's caused so many within the tourism industry to come together. And not only, all of us have different interests and everything else, and we've been sort of working like silos and doing our own thing, etc. But now we see the need to come together. We need to define who we are.
Yeah.
We need to take control of what it is.
And everybody has to understand their role in defining or redefining who you are.
And of course, that's bringing resources together, not only the chamber. We're talking about meeting with the Grand Bahama Island Promotion Board. It's going to take the Ministry of Tourism coming together with a focus on Grand Bahama.
Absolutely.
And help us with that. Money has to go behind it. A lot has to go into marketing. And I think we need to fix our product more so than fix the airport.
Well, we'll talk about the airport, because some people want to fight you for that, what you just said.
I know there's a lot there, because people, and I want to make
some
a statement.
people want, no, when you make that, when we come back, you can make that statement, because I'll tell you this, some people want to beat you up for that statement right there.
Of course.
Because they feel as though, fight over it. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. But I want to hear your thoughts on that, because some people feel it's the airport that's the stumbling block of any forward movement here on the island of Grand Bahama. We'll talk about that. And the sale for the Grand Lucaya, what's happening there? This is Beyond the Headlines. We are live night 2 here in Grand Bahama at the Pelican Bay Resort. We're going to take a break and come back with more after this.
This National Heroes Day, Grand Bahama Tiles is celebrating our nation's builders, our contractors. For one day only, enjoy 20% off store-wide at our contractors only sale. Select, save, and build with tiles, tools, and materials. Everything you need to get the job done now at unbeatable savings. Don't miss it this Thursday, October 9th, one day only. Grand Bahama Tiles, building with you, building for you.
At the Water and Sewage Corporation, safety and convenience are our top priorities. However, our meter readers face challenges that can make their job difficult. Locked gates to guard dogs sometimes leads to missed readings and estimated bills, which can be frustrating for you and us. That's why we're upgrading to digital meters. They bring safety, accuracy, and convenience to homes across the Bahamas. We can streamline data collection, reduce on-site visits, and provide more accurate bills with no more estimates. Digital meters also help detect leaks early, saving you from costly bills and reducing water waste. Soon, a user-friendly app will let you track your water usage, manage bills, and stay informed, all at your fingertips. Over the next year, we're rolling out digital meters nationwide, transforming how we serve you with a safer and cost-efficient water supply. To learn about our digital meters, visit our website or call us today. And don't forget to update your information at any of our locations.
Sting Junkanoo Group is celebrating 25 years of music, and you're invited to the greatest show ever, counting down the years performing hit song after hit song. Stevie S, Colin McDonald, KB, Dyson Knight, and D-Mac. Saturday, November 1st at the Farm Marshall Road, 8 p.m. until. Tickets can be purchased online at www.bahamaseattickets.com for your skybox or to be a food vendor. Call 424-6433, 477-0191. Sponsored by ZNS, Island Luck TV, The Farm, Gatorade Today & Co. Limited, Krista Minute, and Associates.
This National Heroes Day, elevate your home with timeless beauty from Grand Bahama Tiles. For 2 days only, Friday, October 10th and Saturday, October 11th, enjoy 20% off store-wide. Discover elegant porcelain, timeless ceramic, and durable natural stone, perfect for every area of your home. Celebrate savings that last a lifetime, only at Grand Bahama Tiles.
I am a master plumber
by profession. I've been doing plumbing for over 40 odd years. When I was 9 months old, I was diagnosed with polio. To me, living with polio, I took it the way it is. I never allowed my polio to get in my way of anything. In fact, I love when people doubt me, and I just prove them wrong. And let me tell you, in the world, you could only find a plumber as good as me, but you ain't gonna find no plumber better than me. People with disability, they just need a chance. In this program, I feel so encouraged. Most of the mentors have different kind of disability, but disabilities like me. Sharing and caring and showing so much support with people with disability. They would encourage you to go beyond. I wish this was around a long time ago. Right now, I would have been a millionaire. You out there who have a disability, don't be afraid. Take the step. If you believe it, you could achieve it. And remember one thing, ain't no one better than me, and ain't no one better than y'all. God made all us equal.
For more information about how the SBDC can help your small business to make a big impact, give us a call at 461-7232 or visit sbdcbahamas.com.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. We are live here at the Pelican Bay Resort in Freeport, Grand Bahama, talking about and taking the time this week to look at the economy of Grand Bahama, which so many people are talking about. You have heard last night, you're hearing tonight about where many business owners, taxi operators, tour operators, transportation providers, straw vendors, so many people who have other types of investment that have to do with directly related to tourism, where they stand, how they're feeling the pinch and the overall state of the economy. Tonight, we are speaking with the president of the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce, Dylan Knowles, and of course, a tour operator and also president of the Ecotourism and Tour Association of the Bahamas, Rudy Sawyer. They both are joining me this evening to talk about just that, the state of Grand Bahama. Where does Grand Bahama need to go? How does the tourism product need to look moving forward? I shared, coming out of the last break, that I spoke with Rupert Hayward. He is co-chairman of the Grand Bahama Port Authority. I spoke with him this morning, and he gave great details about what's ahead. I talked about that $3 billion+ pipeline for Grand Bahama. Well, already over $1 billion has been invested in this economy. Celebration Key, over $500 million. The Xanadu project that is recently bought and purchased and about to sort of get going as well. I think that's a Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines project, over $500 million. Then Mr. Hayward told me about the Grand Bahama Shipyard, another project that's over $500 million that's fully about to come online in January. He's excited. He wants this economy to turn around as well, and we'll speak to that further on the show moving forward. But we are going to get back to our discussion here with Mr. Sawyer and Mr. Knowles here, business leaders, community leaders, of course, president of the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce, on exactly where this island needs to go. What are the next steps right now, even in preparation for what I just talked about? I mean, those projects alone are bound to create this sort of equal boost that's needed, because celebration is just a one-sided type of boost, but those are going to equal out the opportunity here in Grand Bahama. And then what? And then what do you do? And so, gentlemen, welcome back. Mr. Sawyer, you have the mic, so jump right in.
Yeah, as we ended, I was just getting ready to say, on the tourism side, people don't visit destinations for what they don't have. People go to places for what they do have. So one of the things...
I thought they went for what they didn't have, because they want to experience something unique.
What the destination doesn't have. Is what
right.
Okay.
Not from what's not there.
Yes.
They go for what is there.
Yes. Okay, yes.
So that's why I'm saying, even with the airport, I certainly suggest that we change the narrative on that. Mm-hmm. I saw your show last night, mm-hmm. and there was a statement from David that says we don't have an airport.
There is the airport, guys, on the screen.
You came in and shared your experience. We have a nice airport.
Madison, this airport is
particularly
super.
when you compare with the other places that are bringing in within the Bahamas. I think about Naughty Luther, Exuma, who have voice airports and what we have facilities for guests per year than Freeport over the years.
Yes.
And but of course, we all will accept an improvement on that temporary airport. But certainly it can't be the
So you're saying
linchpin.
that doesn't need to be the focus, sort
That
of
shouldn't be the
at
focus.
the top,
Right.
Because it's something that's just hanging over everybody's head. Like, oh, we need that, and once we get that, everything is a go.
Wherever I travel, I never write home to tell people about
I don't know why we're not
my
showing the
airport
domestic
experience.
area, because trust
And
me,
don't-
if you see it there. I mean, Freeport
Right.
Freeport is quite unique
The only
and
thing
beautiful.
about the airport I want to do is get out of it as quickly as I can. All right?
You ain't there to see the airport, is what you're saying.
So what we want people to come to Grand Bahama for is what is on Grand Bahama. We need to attract them to Grand Bahama to do things.
All of
right?
that is a part of the airport
and
that you
let's
saw,
spend
yes.
some money
Yes.
in that.
And so the thing is,
marketing and
you know
all
what
of that.
I was about to say, how do you market it and get it out there? Because I imagine people are surprised to hear about, for example, just the ecotourism aspect of Grand Bahama and how rich and rewarding that is. Everybody now is looking for this organic, authentic experience, including Bahamians.
Yes, of
so how
course,
do
I
you
can
get
tell
the
you
word out that Grand Bahama is the place you visit for that?
And that's what I'm saying now. We need to put, our minds and ideas together, and I'm seeing a good results of that even coming among us in the tourism area of coming together over this negative that is affecting us all, but it's also bringing in some positives. So wait a little while longer, and you will see some results from us on a positive in terms of helping to define and take control of this product which we call Grand Bahama. And it will become something that we all will be able to celebrate.
That is really awesome. And that's why you say, listen, you're going to adopt that celebration for the island as well.
Celebration Island.
Yeah, I'm with you. Okay. I'm with you.
So, Shanique, we talked earlier about the fact that we lost gaming as the focal point for tourism. And for a number of years, we've done nothing to replace gaming with a new thing. Carnival, Royal Caribbean, and MSC have fundamentally said to us, they've put their money where their mouth is. They've said to us on Grand Bahama, you guys haven't done anything to come up with a new product, so we're going to come up with a product, okay? Carnival is now, and we cannot fault them, Carnival has now come along and plunked down $600 million. They are going to ensure that they recoup their $600 million. They have redirected every ship in their fleet to Celebration Key.
Right.
By 2027, they're going to have 4 ships a day parked at Celebration Key.
The thing is, you must now reimagine to get a percentage of those off, because then that seems to be, tens of thousands a day.
Yes. So they are planning on 6 million passengers a year. Okay? 10% of 6 million is a big number. That's 600,000 passengers if we only get 10% to come out of the key, right? So our job as an island is to figure out how to do that, how to encourage them, how to get to them before they get on the ship so that they know what is available in Grand Bahama, and book them before they get on the ship so that when they get here and they're tired of sitting in the pool at Celebration Key and sipping their pina coladas, that they get into a vehicle and come out into the public and experience what we have to offer. The Grand Bahama Island Promotion Board has realized that this is an immediate issue, an urgent issue for us here on Grand Bahama, having had meetings with the excursion operators over the last 2 weeks, and they are prepared to spearhead the marketing campaign especially for the excursion operators.
So things are being done then?
So we have actions going on.
That sounds very good.
But like everything else, you got to prime the pump, and you got to get things going before you see the result of it. And right now we do have the challenge that operators are having a challenge with paying staff and paying the light bill and paying the mortgage and paying the insurance and what have you. But I think at the end of the day, done right, we have the best opportunity probably in the Bahamas to make a big economic impact here on Grand Bahama.
I firmly believe that. Okay, so what are your thoughts on the airport? I mean, does the airport not need to be this big elephant in the room that seems to just stop everything until it's done right?
Well, I've taken my licks on the airport over the last year because I've always said, and I've been at this now for a number of decades, having left the Port Authority 2 decades ago, where I was the Vice President of Development there, responsible for trying to get investment into Freeport. I've been saying for a while now that in the tourist market, tourists don't go to hotels and airports. They go to activities and attractions, and they stay in hotels and pass through an airport. When you think about it, Atlantis, which is the poster boy for the Bahamas, is a family water theme park with hotels attached, not the other way around, okay? They are an attraction that happens to have hotel rooms, okay? Bahama is more of an adult attraction that has hotel rooms, okay? In Grand Bahama, we need to think about the tourism product as what is the attraction? Because if people want to go to an attraction, they're going to go through whatever airport happens to be there. They're going to stay in whatever hotels happen to be there, or Airbnbs or whatever other facilities there are to stay in, because they want to go to attraction. I've never heard somebody ever say they're going on vacation to go to an airport. They've never said they're going on vacation to go to a hotel.
Even in the world's biggest airports with shopping malls and everything, you don't say, boy, I just can't wait to get to this airport. You know what I mean? Yeah, you stop to a store or two and fine, that's okay as you wait, but that's not the thought.
Airports need to be functional, right? We currently have a functional airport that has a capacity limitation. Every airport has a capacity limitation. At some point in time, we will have enough passengers passing through an airport that we will need a bigger airport. But at the moment, we're putting the cart before the horse. We have to work on the product that is going to attract people to come to Grand Bahama before we worry about how we're going to get them through the airport. Okay?
Quite interesting. I like that. I absolutely like that. So, Dylan, I want to ask you this about the other big elephant in the room, there too, the Grand Lucaya Hotel. What's happening there? What can you say from your vantage point? Anything at all?
So from my vantage point, the Concord Wilshire vision for Grand Lucayan is a very dynamic vision for us because, again, it is focused on the activities. It is itself a little mini water theme park with hotels and timeshare facilities in combination with the Port Lucaya Marketplace and the Port Lucaya Marina and the golf course. So it is a 7-faceted development which will be able to weather the storms of the ups and downs of the tourist industry. Now, the challenge right now is where are they in the process of executing that vision? They say that they are moving forward, but they also say that they need the airport to be moving forward in parallel.
What do you make of that? Because what is it that they feel the airport moving forward in parallel to what they're doing or intend to begin doing? Why is that necessary to be happening simultaneously?
So I think that that we have to have the airport completed at the time that the hotel is completed, but I don't think that they have to be on the exact same track. Okay, one is going to take a lot longer than the other to execute. So I don't think that the airport is a deal breaker for Concord Wilshire. Okay, but we do need them to do what they have said that they're going to do, because it is going to provide us with product that is outside of the cruise industry.
Right, and it's necessary. You're right, and it'll be something, and a welcome addition as well. And so You see, exactly. I thank you both very much for joining me this evening. Of course, my wonderful studio audience. Thank you all very, very much. Of course, happy to be here at Pelican Bay. Thank you, of course, this week, zeroing in on Grand Bahama. You have heard a number of ideas. You've heard real stories, none of it rehearsed, all just everyone's opinions, where they find themselves, where they see this economy, their thoughts on the economy, their thoughts on the tourism industry, and where Grand Bahama is poised to go. We're going to continue, obviously, to focus in on Grand Bahama, to follow Grand Bahama's story into the days of the glory days of Grand Bahama. How about that? The glory days. The glory days. Listen, I thank you all very, very much, of course, for the entire team here at the Pelican Bay Resort. I am Shanique Miller. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening. Look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow evening. Have a good evening.